Hi there.
Hi, welcome to Kira's Collection. I'm Will.
I'm Cinnamon.
So my question is, are eBay resellers unethical because we buy items low and sell them high?
Mm-hmm.
So,
If we're doing it right, I mean, that's
I would hope so. So yesterday I was talking to a family member and I had mentioned that, we had made a couple of great buys. We were in the right place at the right time. We had an opportunity to purchase an item. We got it listed. We got it sold. And we basically 10x'd our investment. And we did it in less than a week.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm super excited about it. And I'm hoping...
It was my biggest sale that I have ever done. It was the biggest dollar amount that I had sold. So I was like super proud of myself because I had this awesome sale. And then to have someone be like, ugh, that is so unethical of you. That is immoral. Why would you take advantage of someone like that?
I'd have to go back and give them more money, is what I was told. and my response to that was, we have 13,000 items that we've purchased and haven't sold.
Mm-hmm.
We've got all of these overhead expenses. We have, we gave the person what they were asking. We didn't negotiate them down. We didn't put it, we didn't put the screws to them and try to like beat them up on their item and tell them it wasn't worth what they were asking. We were very reasonable. We had put a lot together with how many pieces? 20, 30?
Probably close. Yeah, probably closer to 30. So what had happened was we were at a garage sale. Okay. And this woman had a bunch of costume jewelry and a couple of sterling pieces as well. So I was going through and I was there for a while because I was looking at every single piece, and so I was going through and I had started building a pile because that's what I do if they have great pieces, and so I was looking at everything and there was this one. So she gives me the tally at the end and she said, well, it would be $74 or something like it wasn't even that much. It was but she said, but this particular necklace is coin silver, and so I'm going to ask 25 for that piece. And now we've talked about what our margins look like, and our margins are 25% of what we can sell something for. So I'm looking at this piece, this silver necklace, and I'm like, well, I've got a bunch of other brooches and like Monet necklaces and stuff like that. So I don't think I can get $100. Maybe I can, because again, I'm only looking at what I know right now in my brain and going, okay, can I get 4 times what she's asking? And I did. I took the chance. I'm like, well, it's got a clasp that's kind of similar to some a couple other pieces that I've researched. So I'll take the chance, right? And this
so you're taking a chance in that you pay 25, you're going to sell it for 100.
Right. And so this is what's going on in my brain when I'm buying this piece, right? When we buy any of our pieces, right? That's the risk that we're taking. It's not signed. It doesn't say $9.25. I've never heard of this term that she used, which was coin silver. I don't know what that means because I haven't educated myself on that term. So I'm taking a chance and I'm looking at the whole pile and I'm going, okay, go ahead and throw it in because I don't know that I can get $100 for that piece, but I'm sure that I can get 4 times my money on the batch, right? So we bought the piece and she actually like came up to my husband and she was like, oh, thank you for letting your wife spend so much money.
Right.
Because she was ecstatic. She was super, super happy. And the prices that she gave me, again, I didn't negotiate it down. These were the prices. She said, this is coin silver. So I'm going to have to mark this one at 25. That's what she told me. So again, I didn't say, can you do any better, or nothing like that whatsoever. We bought the pieces. She was happy. I was happy. I thought that this was a good thing for everybody, you know? So we came home and, you know, within the next couple of days, I had started doing the research. I took the photos and everything, and I started doing the research, and I learned more about this type of necklace. It's called Navajo.
Right. You were going to mark it at a specific price point, and I actually made you mark it up.
So they're Navajo pearls are what they are. So it's also called bench beads, and they were the silver, the coin silver that she was talking about. You know, oftentimes the Native Americans would melt down some silver coins and make the jewelry handmade, and then they would sell that in the Southwest, you know, during that era. So I had done the research, and there were a lot out there, and they were asking a lot of money, like $1,200 and more.
And there were plenty of them that were selling in those $60 range.
Right. Because again, if you don't know what you have and you're not marketing it to that collector, then you might not get the sale, right? So if I threw it up on an auction for $99.99, you know, then I would probably get that $99. You know, there might be a couple of people going back and forth, but if that collector isn't there watching that item that day, then, you know, it's going to be severely undervalued. And that would be on me. You know, if I put my items out there and I don't know what they are or what they're worth, then that's on me too. But anyway,
Right.
So this piece in particular, these Navajo pearls, I did a ton of research. I found out a lot more information so that in the future I know what I'm buying. But we ended up listing them for $499. Which I was not going to do because he totally was like, no, because I was going to mark him for like $200. And even that, I was like, oh my gosh, can I ask $200 on a piece of jewelry? But I did. I marked him for $499. And then we sent a 10% off offer. And so this woman snatched them up immediately for the $450. So those,
and chances are, so here's that interesting dichotomy is that they sold in 2 days. We probably didn't list them high enough.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I saw several others that were like $1,200.
So is that lady, that is the person that purchased them from us, going to come back to us and pay us the difference between what they paid and what it was actually worth?
Mm-hmm.
Do we have the ethical requirement now to go back to the first person that had it and pay them 10 times what they were asking, so that we can feel comfortable taking 4 times what we paid?
Right. I see both sides of the coin here, right? Like, obviously, we don't want to take advantage of people, and that's not what we do. The vendors that we work with, they love working with us because we do try to be fair to them. Like I said, when I was buying the item, I wasn't even certain I was going to pick it up because that's a big input cost for us. We do not usually spend that much money on one piece of jewelry because I don't trust that I can sell it for 4 times that.
Our business model is, and honestly, this is something we really try to target, is we want the majority of our products in the $20 to $40 range. We want the product to be available for the average person, to be a discretionary spending, not something that has to be saved for, not something that you have to, consult with a spouse or, ponder for days at a time.
Well, and the average eBay sale is $20. So, I mean, I'm okay with average. I'm okay if our customers drop $20 on every item that we sell. I mean, we sell like 15 items. So I'm okay with that. That's a good model for us.
And our average store sale price, our average basket is $20.
Mm-hmm.
So we're right where we want to be. And again, that's the type of stuff that we typically tend to source because we do want those sales, and we don't want, I don't want to sell something to somebody, a $10,000 diamond ring that, now there's a lot of risk involved. I don't want to have $8,000 in capital invested in one product, and I don't want to wait 10 years for that to sell.
Right. So, I mean, it does raise the question of, and somebody has said on our comments before, I wouldn't talk about your business model because it's, it's unethical.
Right. It suggested that everything that we do is a scam, or that we're somehow defrauding people.
Right. So, I mean, it is something that you have to think about sometimes, but again, on the other side of that is when I'm buying lots of jewelry, right? If I'm buying a bunch of different pieces, occasionally I don't check well enough and there's a missing stone, or, there's a clasp that's broken. That's on me. Right. when I don't check well enough, or if they tell me that it's one thing and I don't verify that, again, that's my bad. And that comes out of our business cost. That's a cost of doing business for us. When he buys postcards and they're reproductions and they're not the original, that is something that's if we didn't catch that originally, that's on us. If we don't do our homework, if we make a bad buy, they're not coming back to us and going, oh, you know what? Let me give you some money back off of that,
Right.
I don't know.
We try to do the best by people that we can. We try to be fair in all of our business dealings. And, I think the way that I see it is that, this is a situation where education really determines the value and how it's marketed. Now, again, the person had set their prices based on what they thought they could reasonably get at, a yard sale, opposed to what the pawn shop might pay for it, opposed to what a fine jeweler might pay, opposed to what a museum or a collector might pay. So, and there's different price points in that whole hierarchy that item could have been sold at. And when you're selling it in these environments, or you're buying in those environments, you're expecting that you are taking a loss of some point. I'm not going to set up a yard sale in my yard and sell fine jewelry and expect that anybody is going to pay jewelry store prices.
Right. Well, and that is why part of what we do is we do curate each item to try to find that buyer. So, we've got all the keywords, we're doing the research, we've got the photographs, we've got the testing kits, we've got all of the things that go into that piece. It's a lot more than just I'm throwing a necklace up on eBay. There's a lot of education, and even the just throwing,
I always take a little offense to the idea that you just threw it up on eBay and it was nothing. It didn't take you any time to take photographs. It didn't take you any time to research keywords. It didn't take you any time to store that, or any space, or inventory system, or, you see all the totes and file cabinets behind us and all the packaging over here on the other side of me.
And the light box and the display stands.
None of that. Just ignore all of that. That's meaningless. That doesn't, who cares? You already spent all that money. For us to make a living, we have to have a margin. That's what capitalism is.
And those buys, those are the diamonds in the rough, right? Those are those ones you can count on your hand, and you're like, right. Do you remember that time we sold a Queen Mary chair? Or that time that we sold those Navajo beads, or that, those are the ones.
I bought the door off from number 24 DuPont, Jeff Gordon, that was hand signed at an auction. No one knew that it was Jeff Gordon's car or that it was signed.
Right.
And I was able to sell it for a great profit. And that was 3 years ago, and I still talk about it.
Right.
The 4,000 items that I sold this year, I couldn't tell you what they were, except for that they were in the $20 to $40 range, and the people that got them were happy. So, again, this stuff doesn't happen every day.
No, it doesn't.
But, does that make us bad people?
I don't know. Now I feel like, when we've got family members going like, we're taking advantage of some little old lady who... are we? I don't know that we are.
Right. My other question is that when Walmart goes to China and sources out $4 billion in inventory that they're going to sell this year, are they bad people because they sourced from China, or are they bad people because they made a profit? I don't know.
Right. Yeah. So are we bad people because we gave this lady at a garage sale $100 that she was ecstatic about, or the fact that we made more than $100 off of it? But how could we pay her if we're not making money? Because then we don't have the money to pay her.
Yeah. So I want everyone out there that watches this video, please tell me how bad my wife is. What's your experience with business? What are your thoughts on it? We know that for us to make money, we can't pay more than 25% of what the actual product will sell for. That's based on our business model, our expenses, and our expectation to make money.
Yeah.
So let us know. Are we good? Are we evil people?
I'm curious. Maybe I shouldn't look at the comments today, but please put the comments down below.
All right. Like and subscribe.
Thanks,
Have a
guys.
great day.
Good luck out there.